Good evening and welcome. Welcome to my live stream. This is to fight CPS and stop taking our children. I'm your host, Bob Pace. And I've been doing this live stream twice a day for 18 months now. It's a long time. It started October 23. I've not missed a day of it. I'm on Monday, Friday at 10 a.m. and on the weekends at 8 a.m. Then on the evening live stream, I'm on 7 days a week at 7 p.m. They're 1 hour long live stream, and I'm on the West Coast of California Pacific Standard Time. Now, we'll like to point out this upcoming weekend, once a year, I have this race I work at. It's called the Long Beach Grand Prix. And I'm an area supervisor, and so I need to be there. So tomorrow, I'll be on at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 7 a.m. on the East Coast. And so I'll be on early. And if you missed my live stream, you can see it's been re-recorded. So for the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'll be on at 4 a.m. That's 3 days, 4 a.m. In the evenings, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be on at 8 p.m., 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I got to work the race, and so from 5 to 7, I'll be at the race there all 3 days. But I didn't want to miss this opportunity to help you all. And hello, Louis Paris, for coming into my live stream. Welcome. And I forgot where you're from, Louis. I know you've been on before, but if you could tell me where you're from, that would be great. Now, at the bottom of my screen, we're looking for support for our live screen. And any amount will help. You get different benefits, the $5, the $10, and the $15, and then there's the $25 benefits. And you send the money via Zella. It's going to Vincent Davis's. It's the phone number 308-7758, and use Cash App, Apple Pay, or Zella. Okay? So we'd love to have your support. Now we got another person, Betty Jo. Good evening, Betty Jo, and welcome. Betty Jo's from Montana. She is a foster care mother and a really good foster care mother. We need a new, yes, you've been on before. Hi there, we need there. So I have Lewis, we need, and Los Angeles, Lewis. Thank you for telling me that. And Betty Jo from Montana. And then we have Kayam and Zella. If you want to support this podcast, all you do is type in that number, and you can use Zella for doing that, or Apple Pay to do so. Oh, why am I so red in the face? Probably because the sun was out, and I was carrying 4 bags of groceries up some stairs, and about a mile away where I parked my van. I have to specially park my van away from the home. And I wanted to be on time, so I kind of muscled it. So that's why my face is red. It's also hot today. Temperatures went up today. We've been down in the 51s, but it got up into the 80s here at the beach. So that's why I'm red. But I'm okay. But thank you for asking me, Betty Jo. Maybe it's my Indian blood. I don't know, my Native American Indian blood. Anyway, it was from a strenuous workout. I was carrying 4 bags of groceries and walking about a fast mile in about 5 minutes. So that is pretty much almost running in there. Now I'm using my older son's computer. I used my younger son's computer the last couple of days. Now I got my older son's computer. They seem to be working. It's not skipping all over the place. I'm still trying to get a computer. My son today was going to try to see if he can get one for me, my young son, but I don't think I see it here. So I'm probably going to have to face to buy one, and they're very expensive. The ones that are the high end that are really fast. I haven't got a computer in 7 years, but I definitely need it. I'd worked an extra job, but I've still not been paid yet I'm owed over 2 weeks worth of work. So I have another job where I'm trying to save up money to repair my car, get myself a new tie, new jacket. And I have some nice sports shirts, polo shirts and stuff, but I'd like to get some more white, blue, and other color shirts too. But it takes money. And um, so anyway, um, every night it can be different. Basically, there are my 5 rules, like how to hire an attorney and get the right kind of attorney. 2, how to do your documents, how to put them together with subject tabs and the incident time log. And then also not to speak to social workers or let them in your home or let them take your child. Also about medical transfer, medical kidnapping. You got to be careful there. And I hear my phone ringing. Where did I put my phone? Hold on 1 second here. It's in my back pocket. So we're going to put it in my back pocket. There we go. So it's there. So okay. Well, you got a good price there if you got a $60 computer. But I will look at the refurbished laptop. The laptop that I'm looking for is an i9, of course, with a 1080 video, Nvidia video card, a GPU, and then 34 gigs of RAM and 2 terabyte hard drive. And the new screens are out. The 18-inch are Asus. But it's pretty costly, those computers. So, but I checked that out. Thank you for giving that there. I think Lewis is texting me, and he's been working on a big project for the last couple of weeks. It's pretty extensive, and he's been running it by me and stuff. So that should be really good. Hello there, NYP. That is Alicia, and she's from California City, California, and she has a horrible case where the CPS think that they're breaking their child's bones, but actually she has rickets. And so that is why it is there. Yeah, thank you for showing me those computers. That's really nice. But anyway, that's nice, Lewis. Thank you for there. And again, Klein, I don't know where you're from, but it'd be nice if you told me you were. Yes, Klein. We got to start kidnapping our children. That's wrong. They're drugging our children. I agree with you, and they're trafficking our children. Look at the pawn shop. Okay, we'll do. Thank you. We need. That's really good. And Klein says, stop abusing our children. I agree. And he's from Los Angeles. Sure. I don't know. Have you talked on before, Klein? But anyway, I like to tell you, I was telling you about my rules, not talking to social workers, not letting them in your home. Because anything you say, they will be used against you. Also, watch out medical trafficking. When you take your child to urgent care or to the emergency room or the hospital, there's always social workers working there now, and they will take your children because they overhear something and they make wrong judgments. Don't give up your children. Also, if you're pregnant, you're going to have your child, don't let them take your children. They hear that you tested positive for drugs and they want to take your child right away at birth. It's very important the mother and child bond, and that's not the right way to do it. And I agree, Klein. There's been a lot of her children have been killed. There was a boy that was murdered in the freezer. And there was the ladies from South Africa that lost one of their own there because the social worker took the children, on an outing, and a crocodile came out of the little lake they were sitting there, played by, and dragged the child off in the water. So it's really sad out there. It's really sad out there. That's true. Stop trespassing. You're not supposed to do that. Rule 4, of course, is the wording for searching on the internet. It's always important with the city, the state. Then you put the letter CPS and then type in what you're looking for in CPS. If you're from another country, put the country and do that too. Now, there's 21 countries that I've talked to, and over all 50 states, including Washington, D.C., which is not a state. And so I've had over 1,000 people, so I have a good background of knowing things. I've been doing this for 15 years, fighting CPS. I too had a CPS case. I'm not an attorney. I'm a loving father and a caring husband. I have 42 years of marriage experience, and I've helped raise 6 children. 3 are grown up, older children. The 3 that were trafficking by CPS, it was sad. I lost one of them. I lost my daughter, who was results of retaliation by a CPS worker because she was caught committing perjury under oath. My attorney, I'd hired Vincent Davis, caught her lying. And she was so embarrassed that she wanted to retaliate. So she said to us parents, "You're never going to see your daughter again." And then she told her daughter what to do at age 12, to emancipate, divorce your mom, your dad, your 3 brothers, your 2 sisters, your both sets of grandparents, aunts and uncles and cousins. She divorced them all. And then she changed her beautiful name. And then she sealed her birth certificate, got a new birth certificate, a new Social Security card. She was double dipping out of my Social Security retirement. And then she got put into a foster care family. That social worker went for the juggler, the classic example of retaliation. They're mean, and I don't have any problems about saying who it was. This one was the Orange County Child Protection Services. Now, I call CPS the Child Protection System. It's a system of government entities in every county and every state that's supposed to protect our children from neglect or abuse and do family reunification. But you'll find out that there's many rogue CPS entities that are around the country, and you don't know it till it's too late. And I was too late. Everything you could think happened to me. My children were abused in foster care, and they're still messed up now. I have 2 of the boys back, but my wife and I are still messed up with what CPS did. I had to sell my home to hire Vincent Davis, and that was a big hit for me to take because I had a beautiful home. I had to do a quick sell, so I took half the value of what it was. I lost $1 million. And then on top of that, I spent hundreds of thousands of fighting to have my 2 boys back. And so, I wanted the best attorney, so it cost money. And I'm not saying yours are. The retainer starts out in LA County at $5,000, and then his hourly rates are $500. And then it goes up depending on how far away he's from the office and whether he has to go out of state for per diem, like the airfare, the ground transportation, the hotel, and the food. Those are additional costs that are put into the retainer. Now, hello there, Amanda Thomas Haney. Amen. You're doing a great. Thank you very much, Amanda. And I forgot where you're from, Amanda, if you could tell me. I know that Clem, it says he's from LA, I think he was telling me. And Los Angeles, that's what he said. And Luis Perez is from Los Angeles, and he's worked on an appeal and a bunch of things he's run through me. Now, Luis has a question. What do you have to contact in order to be able to watch the live streams, or is that only when it's oral arguments if you're not available to go to court? I'm not a lawyer, and I appreciate you telling me, Louis, to help you. I can review what you sent, and I looked at that and everything there. But you said in order to able to watch the live streams, I don't know, are these court sessions a live stream? Is that what you tell me? And Tori Johnson, glad to see you, Tori. I forgot where you are, but if you could tell me what you are, that'd be great. South Carolina, Amanda, good. Glad to have you from South Carolina. Now, my face a little red because I was out in the hot sun and I was racing with my 4 bags of groceries to get home to do this live cast. And I was doing about a mile in 5 minutes, which is a pretty good run. Oh, boy. Anyway, it should calm down. The house, of course, is hot, so maybe if I get some liquid or something, it would help me calm myself down here. Oh, boy. Now, before I forget you all, this weekend, I'm going to be on at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 7 a.m. your time. And I'll be on at nighttime starting tomorrow night at 8 p.m. I'm at a commitment for the next 3 days that I've done for 50 years. So I'm at that commitment. I love this computer quote you give me, and if I get paid because I'm owed 2 weeks worth of work, I can go ahead and grab the computer. Anyway. Oh, good news. I just got sent 400. Wow, that's great. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So anyway, I really care about you all. You're like my family. And I've been doing this time and time, and I've gotten to know like Betty Joe. She has a son who was, a hardship on her. And he had a daughter, her niece, and it was bouncing around. And Betty was going to adopt a child, and actually had used ICPC, the Interstate Placement for Compact for Children. And then the child got called back, and now her son has gone to Nebraska to try to get the child. I guess he's going to try to make another go of it. But it's really sad. It was the parents are very involved in drugs, didn't have a steady job, and the mother doesn't want anything to do with the child. And that's a shame. Children need parents. And the best parents are the biological parents to raise children. That's the best parents. Now, I have a number on my screen, 888-888-6582. That's my law office. That's the office what Vincent works out of. And there you can call them and speak to my people there. Make sure you tell them that Bob Pace sent you. Tell them that Bob Pace sent you. And you can find books. You can find all kinds of like schedules for live stream for Mr. Davis and for myself and others, Mrs. G and so forth. You can find the schedule there. You can buy the book, The Grandparent's Guide for Adopting Your Grandchildren. It's a step-by-step guide. It's $9.99, but if you use my discount code PACE50, that's capital P, capital A, capital C, capital E, you can definitely talk to them on that. So we've stopped with Amanda with comments. That's all right. And do any of you have any topics you'd like me to talk about? I can talk about my case, but my case was boring and it's sad and everything like that. And it's recorded already, so you can go and hear it. I do know you can't trust CPS. You don't know when it's going to strike. I wish all foster parents were like Betty Joe. I wish they were. She was so great. She told me where she took in a young child who was, I think, 4 years at the time. And this was a couple of months ago, and he had lost his parents due to an automobile accident. And she took him in until he got adopted by family members. And that was so cool because he would call her and tell her that he's okay and stuff. So Betty Jo is a really good foster mother there. And I hope that her niece, somehow has a better life with her son. I hope he gets a job and he has the stability in a home because those are two things he's lacking. So we'll see what happens. It's really emotional strain, that child protection services can be. Now, if you need another attorney besides a child protection system attorney, like for juvenile law, family law, or dependency law, let's say you're interested in criminal law. Well, he has criminal law attorneys, divorce attorneys, real estate attorneys, damage claims, body claims, workplace claims. He has attorney for everything. So take that number down. Now, I did put a message up here that if you want to leave a comment, I'd love to hear your comments. All you do is you text a comment or a question about CPS. Please state your first name, your city or county, state, and country. Also, please tell me about your CPS case from beginning to where you're at now. So that's the text in a comment. Now, to be a guest on this live stream, all you have to do is email my show producer. Her name is Grace, and she will give you a link to get on StreamYard. That's the application I use. I broadcast on YouTube. Now, the YouTube room I'm using is called CPS Defense Attorney Vincent Davis. So that's the YouTube room. And then I use the StreamYard application. And so that way I'm able to do that. So just email one of my 14 live streams to Grace at vincentwdavis.com. That's Grace at vincentwdavis.com. And then she will set you up. It takes about a week for her to schedule you. But she will go and set you up there. And that way I could take 9 of you and you could all be talking at once. Now, my last way that you can interact on this live stream is to call in. You can call in my phone, 626-698-0990. Now, that means it's direct line to my office phone, and you can call me during showtime. Now, if you want to retain Vincent Davis, you can call me typically from 8 in the morning to 10 o'clock and from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock Monday through Friday. So, because I'm there talking to potential new clients. That's another thing that I do. Okay. So unless we have some topics in here, I can look up some that we can talk about. I don't really want to go through we got a call in. That's great. Good evening. You've reached Bob Pace on his live stream with the law offices of Vincent W. Davis. How can I help you?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, pretty good. Who am I speaking to?
This is Thomas Haney.
Thomas Shaney or Haney?
Haney, like on the Green Acres.
Oh, okay. Great to meet you, Thomas. Are you listening to my live stream right now?
Yes, sir, we do. We do every chance we can.
Oh, okay. So you're one of my regulars on there. What is your YouTube name? I'll try to look for you.
Amanda and Thomas.
Oh, Amanda Thomas. Okay, yeah, I know that is one in there. You're from South Carolina, right?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Okay. Well, glad to have you talked before on my live stream.
Yeah, we spoke a little bit, and see what it is my son's in prison for my son had a couple of beautiful grandchildren with this girl at a very young age, and he got into some trouble. He has some mental disabilities, and he wasn't treated for them, and he got into some trouble by self-medicating himself and ended up in prison. And while he was in prison, the girl, his baby mama, ended up having 2 more kids by this child molester, and he molested both of our grandchildren, and now he ended up going to jail, and the baby mama went and got them out of jail, and we just were just completely dumbfounded. Well, 3 years later down the road, she was proven unfit, which it don't take 3 years to get your kids back if you really want them. And first mistake, you don't let them child molester move in your house.
Right.
And see, and we're the grandparents, and they love us to death. And we've been trying to get in with the DSS that is taking the case and trying to get into where we can see the grandbabies, because problem is we would have took them, but we don't have enough space because we have our daughter living with us, which has a son that the father has nothing to do with. He calls me daddy, and we didn't have enough room, so we didn't qualify for it.
Okay.
And which is so sad, because I'm a veteran, and it shouldn't be like that. And
well, why do you not qualify? What was the reason why you did not qualify to take in the additional child?
Because we don't have enough sleeping space, and plus DSS, somebody, it was actually my sister got mad at me a long time ago and called and made a false accusation, which it was unproven. It was you know what I'm saying? It was thrown out, and that's all. That helped keep that. They put that up in her face, and then when Dylan went to jail, the little girl he was hanging out with, somebody called DSS on her because while Dylan and this little girl was doing these little bad things that sent him back to jail, she didn't have her kid, so someone called it on her, and I guess she thought it was us. So in retaliation, she called it on us, and the trailer that we lived in, it's the old trailer, was recalled, but the people we bought it from didn't do what was supposed to be done, and it was just kind of falling in. So I had to go and find an RV to park in our driveway that would pass and was suitable, and which is great. They come and looked at it and wanted my daughter to sign papers, and I said, you don't sign it. I taught my daughter, I said, you don't sign no papers unless the judge has signed it. And the lady said, Miss Haney, you gonna sign these papers? He said, has the judge signed it? And she snapped them back to her chest and said, you telling me you're not gonna sign these papers? She said, no, because he is loved, he's well taken care of, and there's no reason for me to sign these papers. And she even took pictures of our refrigerator and took a picture of my grandson. And I looked at the cops outside because I know all the cops around here. This is a small town. And I said, hey, guys, I'm sorry they wasted your time bringing you over here to stare at it. They laughed at me. I just kind of chuckled, laughing because I know how it works. And she got mad. And to make a long story short, she come back over here about a month later, said she come to do a checkup. A follow-up. I said, excuse me, ma'am, a follow-up on what? The case on Jeremiah. I said, ma'am, if you don't remember, there never was no case on Jeremiah. Ain't nobody signed nothing. As a matter of fact, you're trespassing right now. You're no longer wanted in my yard.
That was good.
And they got it, and they got in their van and left.
Right, right. Well, one of the biggest mistakes, and I made the same mistake, is talking to social workers or talking to the police. That is wrong. You should never do that because you end up getting against you. What you need to do is you need to tell them you need to have your attorney present to talk to them. You don't want to refuse not talking to them. You just say, I need my attorney present. If you're charged criminally, your constitutional right is to be represented by a lawyer. So you can say, I need time out on this matter. I don't want to talk to you further. You're not taking my children. You're not coming into my home. And, I need to have my attorney present. Also, they need to have a warrant before they even can do anything. And so,
she didn't have that.
No, they don't. They don't.
I voluntarily let her come in, and I let her look in my cabinet. There was food, and we showed her where he slept and all his plushies and everything, and his toys and stuff, and everything passed. And everything was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. See, my daughter, she's overweight, okay? And the lady that was, the little girl, 17 years old, that my 23-year-old son was dating, tried to say that my daughter was on meth and heroin, and we had dogs in there. Yeah, and my daughter laughed whenever she said that. She said, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but the picture just don't fit the words." She said, "I'm so sorry," and tried to say that there was dog feces everywhere, and I had guns everywhere. Don't get me wrong, I got my collection of guns, but my grandson can't get to them. And another thing, we do have pads down, and as soon as a dog uses a bathroom, we get it up. And we have, we don't have German Shepherds or nothing like that. We have little Maltese in there,
Right,
and,
right.
But, it's all fine and good, And, when you open my door, it don't smell like dog urine because, my wife has, what is that called? What's that thing? OCD? Yeah, she has OCD, and every little thing, she cleans it up and stuff. I mean, it was just what do they call it? What's the word I'm looking for, hon?
Undocumented.
No,
undocumented.
Yeah, well, it was unfounded. That's right.
Unfounded. Okay. Unfounded.
Yes. Yeah, and but yeah. Anyway, we're just trying to find a channel to see our two grandkids. That one of them, the foster family, the girl McKenna, the oldest one, is being adopted by the foster family that I guess they bonded a relationship, which is fine and good. They're a Christian family, that's an A+++ with me.
Right.
And the other one, which I call Junior, which is Drew. They're having trouble out of him because he was molested the most. Let me tell you what this sicko did, and I'm sure you've heard some bad things, but this sicko took a lighter after he molested my grandson. He took a lighter and got it red hot and stuck it to his tongue and told him if he told anybody else that he would do it again. And here's the thing, all this was going on while the baby mama was in the house, and you can't tell me that she didn't know that something was going on, or either something was going on and she was afraid because he threatened her, or she knew about it and just wasn't going to say anything. And that's why I agree with this. I agree with them, and I agree that they did needed to be, adopted out because them kids were not safe in her custody.
Okay. So where you at? So where you at on your case? Where you at on your case?
On the case, they right now, Junior is still with DSS because nobody will take. They have nobody to take him. They are in the process of adopting McKenna, and they said that they were going to give the foster parent our number to try to establish a communication line, which has not happened. and they still have not let us talk to our other grandparents.
Well, do you want his grandparents? Do you want his grandparents to get guardianship of your grandchildren?
Well, yeah, all the TPR rights has been terminated and everything, but I would like to be able to, just see them on the.
Now, why is the mother and the father? Why did they have their termination of their rights? Why were they terminated?
Because during this whole process, the whole 3 years that at the end of the process, when all this was going on, my son was in prison, so they could not turn him over to him. Okay, he was just an automatic strikeout.
Well, what about the mother? What about the mother?
The mother, I'm not a judge. I'm not judge. I'm a God-fearing man. I'm not going to judge nobody. But the girl, she would not keep a job. She was more interested in men than her kids, and she constantly was just messing up. She was missing these meetings, the classes you have to take to get the kids back and everything.
Right.
And when they did the testing on the baby for the sexual abuse, he tested positive for chlamydia and of the rectum, and he had bruising and everything. And when they tested the daughter, which is McKenna, she had chlamydia. And let me tell you, Mr. Brother Bob, they ended up checking the mother, which was the grandmother. She had chlamydia.
Wow.
The mama had chlamydia. The boy's friend had chlamydia.
Wow.
And also the sister, her sister, the baby mama's sister, everybody that lived in that house had chlamydia. So they could not pinpoint, hey, look, the child molester has chlamydia and the two babies have chlamydia. Okay. It's a sexually transmitted disease, it's not a virus, something that floats through the air through a sneeze. So he got away with child neglect. Well, when that happened, I chased him through 8 red lights, and I'm here to tell you now, Bob, people will run red lights on you. I can't stop a car quick enough to get out. I was going to pull him out the car, because I tell you, that day I was outside of my religion. Because when he come out of the courthouse, he fingered me, and he didn't even know me from the pole in the ground. But my son was standing around, and that's when he stuck his little finger up at us, and that just kind of
Understood.
set a bomb off in me.
Well, why couldn't you use the grandparents? Because you didn't have enough room for the children? Is that why?
Right. I didn't have enough room for the children, and plus they were bringing a long time ago. Like I say, our children were took away under false allegations that they were bringing that up against.
Okay.
Yeah, they said there's a red flag in your folder. I said it was unfounded. Well, it don't matter. Still, you had a case, and I'm just like, this is just even though if I had that settled as catch-22, okay, here's your kid. I don't have the room. We're sleeping in an RV 4D.
Right.
With my daughter, my grandson, and my wife.
Yeah.
So, but I've been praying for a miracle.
Right. Now, Amanda.
Definitely get me a house.
Yeah, Amanda asked a very important question. She said, "Where are you located?" I'm located myself at Surf City, USA, on the west coast of California, 3 blocks from the ocean. Our office is in LA County. It's Arcadia. And so I'm about 45 minutes from the office, 45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic. And so that's where the office is. So I do this live stream twice a day. I had an unfortunate thing where I had a great job, and unfortunately I lost it in 2010 through no fault of my own. State of California is going bankrupt, and they had to hold off on getting the contract started. I had over $63 million worth of work, and they needed that money, and they illegally took that money and temporarily wrote IOUs for it. And I could have sued them, but the owner didn't want to sue them. So I was laid off, And at age 60, that was a hard thing to swallow. And so
Yes,
I
I bet.
tried to get work. But meanwhile, my in laws, my wife's mother and father, and three sisters and their brother were calling once a week from Ohio to California complaining about things that are not true. And of course, CPS is mandated, whether it's a layperson or a professional, to investigate. And when they do so, you're guilty until you prove it innocent. So every week for 5 years, I had to prove to them that yes, they had food, they had good grades, they were at private schools. I was having a hard time finding work. And so that didn't help me at all.
Wow.
And so I
That's
eventually
so
wanted to
wrong.
get my children back, but in doing so, I had to come up with the money. So I quick sold my house and got the money to hire Vincent Davis in there.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
What
It
a
is
story.
well. It is.
That's just so wrong.
I agree.
And plus, I've seen the dark side of CPS, just like my grandson that nobody is wanting to take right now. You know, I mean, he may end up on a bus and I never see him again. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't want that because they saying that he beats on himself and all this because he's done ended up with black eyes. He's done had to go to the emergency room for falls and this and that. They put cameras in his room, and none of the cameras are producing any footage of him abusing himself. So I'm just, I'm kind of at a spiritual battle in my head of wanting to just go. I know I'm sure you've had people say, "Hey, I want to go kidnap my kid."
You're right. Let me answer a couple questions. Don't leave. Stay there, Thomas. Tori Johnson asked a question. So what do you do if CPS is not offering services for unification? They're going for adoption. Well, you need to have an attorney there, Tori, because you need to get your rights. They need to do reunification. What has happened, though, in 1994, President Bill Clinton signed a law, the incentive law, where they give out extra money to CPS entities if they put the children into foster care. They don't like the reunification because it takes too long. So, Tori, it's all depends on the attorney you have. Attorney makes all the difference in the world. Now, I have a new person called Dr. 43, and she said, say hello. Can you tell me where you're from, Doctor? That'd be great. And Clem says he's hired Vincent Davis. And so Clem is represented by Mr. Davis. So let me see here.
Hey, the
yes.
name of the baby's mama, the baby mama name is Tori. So you might be talking to the real baby mama.
Oh, really? Oh, well, let me see where Tori said she's from. Hold on. She said she's from somewhere. That is true. People do come in there. She's from Utah. She's from Utah. It's Tori Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah, Tori Johnson, and she says she's from Utah.
Tori Johnson? Oh, no, that's wrong Tori. This is a Tori Honeycutt.
Right. Tori Johnson's from Utah.
Oh, okay, wrong Tori. But, I'm just, I just wanted to, salute you and what you do and everything. I mean, it's awesome what you do for people because, children are our future, you know?
Yes, and, they are. They're really very precious people. There's no question about that. Okay, Doc.
You can ask my grandson.
Right.
Who's number one? He'll tell you right now, Jesus. And you say, who's his father? He'll tell you God.
Yeah.
And we've taken to church and everything. And I know you're busy online. I hear you. And so I'll let you get back with some other people. And I'll keep you up to date what they tell me when I, get back in touch with them. Because we're supposed to have a sibling visit on the 28th.
Mm-hmm.
On the 20th on Easter.
Well, we have we have Dr. 43. He's from Iowa. He's new to the room. Dr. Death 43. So I was hoping he'd have his first name there. So anyway, I don't know if you guys could share me your case. I can help you. I have right now on the phone Thomas, and he's a grandparent, and apparently a lot of his grandchildren are being whisked away from him, and it's sad. It really is sad. Okay, Dr. Death says, I have 5 kids in foster care. That's terrible. How can you tell me more about your case, Dr. Death? Can you tell me about it? That'd be really, really great. How did they get into foster care? And what were the charges? What were the allegations? Let me see if anybody else out here. So all of you, right now, we have about 8 more minutes left when I have to close at 8 o'clock tonight. Now, I do want to tell all of you again that for the next 3 days, my times are going to be different. In the morning, I'll be on at 4 a.m. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's Pacific Standard Time. That's 7 a.m. on the East Coast. And then in the evening, I'll be on at 8 p.m. That's 11 p.m. on the East Coast. So just these 3 days, I'll be different timing there. I'm doing something I've been doing for 50 years, and that is to be a part of a group of volunteers that puts on the Grand Prix of Long Beach. It's been going on for 50 years, and I've been a part of it. So I started when I was 25. Now I'm 75. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But I've been doing this CPS for 18 months. So maybe in a couple of years, it's going to be a couple of years. So I definitely know it's hard for y'all, and I have ideas that will help you. I have my 5 rules. I emphasize how important it is to have an attorney, because if you're trying to fight CPS, it's like doing open heart surgery. You won't be able to do it. I don't think anybody that's a layperson could open a chest cavity, get a heart out, and work on it. You need to have a bona fide doctor. And that goes for the child protection system. You know, there are rogue ones around. Now, there's good ones and bad ones. And so it's really hard not to know which is which.
Right. I agree.
Yep. Now, was there a particular question you like to have? You known about the book for grandparents? It's called The Guide to Step by Step to Get Guardianship of Your Grandchildren. It's a book that is $9.99, and I can give it to you for half off, 50% for half off if you use my discount code of PACE, PACE, all capital letters, and the number 50, PACE 50. You get 50% off the book. All you have to do is call in at 888-888-6582 and ask them for the grandparents guide for getting guardianship of your grandchildren. And it has a lot of useful information there. It's also good for parents to look at it too. It'll work for parents as well as for grandparents. And it's geared for California, but it should work in South Carolina or any other state there. So you should look at that book. That's a good book to look at. Now,
how do you get your hands on a copy of that?
Yeah, 888-888-6582. Just tell them that Bob Pace sent you.
6582.
Yeah, 888-888-6582. That's the law offices. And just tell them that Bob Pace sent you, so you can get that book. Oh, there's also another way that I can put up here. There's a website to get the book. Here we go. If you want to go just to the website, the Grandparents Guide and other resources, go to the stand.store /attorney VWD. And excuse me, I have someone that's trying to come in. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Hello.
I can't remember what his name is on TV.
Yeah, this is Bob Pace. I'm live, but I can only talk to one person at a time. Where are you from?
Okay, that's fine. I'm Dr. Death.
Oh, you're Dr. Death. Okay, 43.
Yeah,
all right.
Dr. Death 443.
Yeah, glad to meet you. Now, I'll be on again at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time or 7 a.m. Eastern Time. And you could call in.
Okay.
And you can also schedule to be on my show with Grace, my show producer at grace@vincentwdavis.com. So I have another person that's on from South Carolina. That's Thomas. So I'll let you go.
I've been listening to Tiff and the Furniture a lot, so.
Okay. Well, I'll be seeing you again real shortly there. It's a pleasure meeting you, Dr. Death 43.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thomas, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just took a call. That was Dr. Death 43, and he'll call back again tomorrow or another night. I'd love people if they could just be a guest on my live screen, because I can take up 9 of you and you can all talk, 9 of you. But on the phone, I can only do one call at a time.
Right. I get it.
So,
yeah.
Anyway, I want to thank all the people that have called in tonight, that have expressed a thing there. I want to thank Climb in there from LA, and thank you for calling in, Dr. Death, who did call in. I hope you can talk to me another night, and that is good to talk to you. You're from Iowa, Dr. Death is. Klein is from LA. And Thomas is from South Carolina, and Troy is from Utah. And let me see who else we have. I want to thank everybody that has called in. Troy from Utah, I got them. You guys. Louis Paris from LA. And thank you very much for coming into the show. And I think that's it of all the people here. Feels nice with Betty Jo. I can't forget Betty Jo. She's from Montana, and she's been a long time listener. And also we need, let me see, we need a new something. Anyway, they've been in there too. So I want to thank all of you in there. Please remember, I'm on tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 7 a.m. East Coast time. And I want to thank you all. And, don't give up. Keep fighting for your children. God bless you. And I will see you tomorrow. Take care. And thank you, Thomas. God bless you.
Yes, sir.
Thank
you. You have a good night.
You bet.